All right, I got a sweet little 410 slug video for you today. These are hand-loaded slugs of different variations with the exception of one. I'll go over that in a second. My buddy CW Longshot made these up for me. I sent him the hauls and he loaded them up. Make sure you go and check out his channel. But I'll put a link in the description to the video he featured actually going over what was in these and how he made them and whatnot. But we're going to do a little target test today, see how they shoot. This one here, this is 2.395 caliber lead balls. He's got videos on some of these too. Like I know the ball one, he has separate videos on them and whatnot. And he's pretty good about responding to comments too. So if you just go to the video linked in the description, tell him I sent you. You know, you can ask whatever question about whatever one of these loads you want. He'll get right back with you. But he says these shoot pretty accurately. I think he said out to 50 yards, 40 yards, something like that. They group real tight, way tighter than like double aught or triple aught loads in his experience. So we're going to try those out. But the rest of these are slugs. Okay. This one I'll have to insert in the video here, but it is a
shuttlecock style.
It's a mold poured slug. It basically looks like a big pellet that you would shoot out of a pellet gun. 115 grains. We'll try that out, see how well it shoots. And these are just, well, he's got 10 millimeter on here. Same thing, 40 caliber bullets that are loaded in here as slugs. If they have a point, I know he loaded them backwards because if you load them point first, they tumble and keyhole, and they're not too accurate. So if they have a point, they're loaded backwards. These are 145 grain, and these are 175 grain. Unfortunately, my chrono is broke, and I had just not had the money to get it replaced yet because I've been spending money on 410 ammo. I got way more than this coming up. This is the first part of a series I'm doing, 3 or 4 videos with 410 slugs, so I got way more than this coming up. Stay tuned for that. I'm trying to get estimated velocities from him so I can put that in the video, so hopefully he'll answer me by the time I got this put up so I can get somewhat kind of a guess of what the velocities and thus energy would be out of these.
So it's a little difficult to estimate the velocities on these. The load he showed me in the book had 2 double aughts, I believe it was, weighing a total of 138 grains with their wads, traveling at 1,360 feet per second with a 138 grain payload, which again included the wads. But there's some discrepancy with the 2 pellet load here because in the video he made regarding these, it showed 2 in the cups weighing like 155 grains. But then he sent me a picture of one of the balls on the scale and it said it weighed 90 grains. So 2 would be 180 without the cups. Yet what he showed in the video was 155 grains with the wads. So I'm not actually clear on which 2 balls are actually in there and what their weights are. But anyways, the load he used had 138 grains traveling at 1,360 feet per second. So that means those 115 grain shuttlecock slugs over there, they're probably like around in the 15s. The 145 grain, 40 cal, 10 millimeter there, it's probably, you know, it's going to be low 13s. And then the 175 grain, those might be doing around 1,100 feet a second, maybe just barely subsonic. And again, on the 2 ball load, I don't really know on that because I'm not clear what balls and what weight of payload is in there. But overall, they were pretty light loads to be safe. They're running like 9,000 PSI, it said.
Now I got a control here also to start to sight this in because I've been wanting to do this since I was a kid. I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, teenager, not that old. Get a 410 that I could put a scope on it. And I finally got it. Now this is a Stevens 301, I believe, turkey. So it has the extra full choke. However, it takes these shortened vector chokes, and this took me like 6 months to find in stock. So I have here an improved cylinder, which other than cylinder bore or skeet, improved cylinder is the best choke to shoot slugs out of most accurately. Modified's not too bad, but you're going to lose some accuracy there, and it's usually not advised, especially on these hard cast bullets here, or just if you're loading 10 millimeter copper plated bullets. You definitely don't want to send those through a full choke, anything like that. I'm not going to go over the, you know, what you should and shouldn't shoot, but this is going to allow me to shoot all these safely, no problem. And even for your standard type, you know, Foster slugs like that, The improved cylinder, again, other than maybe cylinder bore, it's going to give you the best accuracy. So I'll switch out that choke, and hopefully we have a real good shooter on our hands. But I brought a little scope with me today. This comes with that Picatinny rail on there. Most people would be mounting a little red dot for turkey hunting, but I got a little scope I should be able to get on there. So I'm going to get that mounted up, and we'll get started. All right, I got my little LPVO mounted up there. It's a 1:6. If you want to see a review on that, check out the accessories and optics playlist on the channel. Get this set up here. I'll start out real close because I don't want to waste these $3 a shot right now. Freaking 410 slugs, 10-15 yards, something like that. I'll start out with the Winchesters so I can get the scope zeroed, and then we'll switch over to testing out CW stuff here, which, by the way, man, CW, the packaging on these are awesome. He's got these vacuum sealed, labeled, and on top of that, they have a tearaway up here, so you don't need scissors, and a Ziploc thing on it, so you can close them back up after you tear them open. These things are sweet, man. Now, as I said, I got a whole lot more 410 videos coming up. If you missed the community post, I posted a picture of all the different slugs I got. So we'll have some accuracy tests coming up now that I got a scope on there, and some long-range shooting, let's just say that. And probably later this year, I'll start working on doing some gel tests with some of those slugs as well. So make sure you stay tuned if you don't want to miss any of that. All right, I just eyeballed it, made some adjustments. I think it's going to be on paper. We'll see real quick. Rangefinder says 18 yards. Link in the description if you want to get yourself a good budget rangefinder. And we're just going to start out here with these Winchester Foster type slugs, rifled hollow point. It's a 2.5-inch version, 1/5 ounce. Okay, yep, pretty close down there. We got 2 holes because of the wad. I guessed really good. But that slug there was aiming dead center, and it just hit, I don't know, maybe 2 inches low there, and that hole off to the right is the wad. So we're pretty close to zeroed. I'm going to go ahead and move this thing out and finalize the zero a little more. All right, I went ahead and gave it a few clicks up, hoping to stay on paper. I set it at about 45 yards. I'll check with the rangefinder real quick. But we'll shoot a little 3-shot group down here, see how she does with the Winchesters. And then we'll move on to those handloads of CWs, see how they do, get fresh targets up for those. Oh, I forgot the rangefinder. 45 yards exactly on the dot. That shot went a little high right, but that's okay. I'm going to send 2 more just so we can get a group, and then I'll adjust it so that it's zeroed at 50. Well, I guess I can just zoom in. You guys can kind of see it, but I'll get a measurement on that, and we got to go swat the target anyways. All right, so there's what we did there. Remember, this was the first shot at 18 yards, and that was the wad that hit at 18 yards. So these are our 3 shots. So as you can see, a little high right, like I said. I'll make a slight adjustment before we go on to the next one. But those are the 3 shots at 45 yards, and center to center, measurement 1 7/8 inch. Honestly, not too bad for a little 410, but I'm hoping by the end of the series to find something more accurate than that, and I believe I do have something more accurate than that. And maybe some of CW stuff is more accurate than that. We'll find out. Well, let's start with these 2 .395 caliber balls, so 39.5 caliber lead balls there. We'll try these out before we go on to the slugs that he made up and see how these do down there. 45 yards. Like I said, he either said 40 or 50. I want to say 40 yards. He said they actually printed within like 2 or 3 inches of each other. So they group, if that's the case, and we'll find out here in a second. And I believe him through his gun, but every gun's different. Mine might not like him, or it might like him better. We'll see here in a second. But that could be like a really good coyote or hog load or even self-defense if these pattern nicely down there 45 yards. All right, very nice. Let's try a couple more. And those went way high. Now that third one hit back down where the first one did. I'm going to try 2 more to see if we have another fluke flyer like that or not. Yeah, they're kind of going up and down, so maybe they do better in his gun and they stay, you know, centralized the whole time. But sometimes mine is throwing them high for some reason. And I just checked and my choke is still tight, so it's not that. All right, next up, I'm going to try that cast slug, the one that looks like a big pellet. All right, yeah, I think you guys can see it. That last one went way high, so left and right's pretty consistent, but the up and down very inconsistent. So again, would work for like self-defense out there to 45 yards, certainly closer. All right, so now I'll try the 10mm bullet, 145 grain, and then we'll do the 175s last. And I'm just going to leave this target up out there. Should be able to differentiate since those are kind of all over the place. So 145 grain 10mm / 40 caliber bullet. Again, link in the description if you want to go check out in more detail what exactly is inside of there. Well, I think we have our answer there on those, but I'll go ahead and send one more shot down. Not sure if that hits one of the same holes that was already down there. It looks like it hit the first hole maybe. I'll shoot one more. So if that one did hit one of the same holes, then those aren't bad. We just had that one flyer. I know he said that if the wad separated, I know he's using hot glue to attach the bullet to the wad. I know he said if it's separated, the accuracy is going to go crazy. So I'll send at least a couple more down here, see if maybe it'll keep patterning low left there. Not sure where that one went. We'll try another one. Yeah, it looks like a lot of those are just completely missing the paper. All right, so I would imagine these are probably going to perform about the same. I'm guessing the wad keeps separating, but we'll try these and see what happens.
He said one or both of these was screwed to the wad. I can't remember which. You'll have to watch his video.
All right, fresh target. And now we'll try those 175 grain 10mm. Kinda looks like it keyholed. Yep. Say those are some pretty jagged looking holes, and so yep, that's what you get down there with those. Those are better though. At least those are staying on target. So it looks like they're keyholing though, but it's staying on the paper. So again, it would be good for self-defense out to 45 yards there. Now, just to confirm, anyone who would doubt my scope's coming loose or bad scope or anything like that, I'm gonna go ahead and switch back to the Winchesters, and we'll do another little 3-shot group down there just to confirm nothing's gone wrong with that, even though I'm pretty confident there's nothing wrong with my setup. So there you go. Almost as tight as the first 3-shot group I shot with the Winchesters, and that barrel is scorching, so that could be playing into it a little bit. Also, remember they were high right? That one just dropped low there. Could have been me, I don't know, but probably just the group size there. Seems like I did not adjust the scope at all yet, so I still need to come left and down a little, but 3-shot group there, just a little bit wider than the first 3-shot group with the Winchesters. And like I said, that barrel is super hot right now. I didn't even bother letting it cool down for those. So even though it didn't go quite as well as either of us planned for, I still really appreciate you making these for me, CW. I was a blast shooting them, trying them out today. And guys, these would definitely work out, you know, like you said, closer encounters than that. If you bring it in 20, 25 yards, you know, your group's going to be half the size of whatever we were getting down there. So we'll certainly work on larger targets out 20, 30 yards probably. And like I said, self-defense scenario for sure, you know, close range or whatever.
I just want to point out that most, if not all, of CW's experience with these loads was through a cylinder bore. Not only was it a completely different shotgun, but it was a cylinder bore instead of an improved cylinder. Also, I know he said something in his video about not liking the screw-in chokes a whole lot. I believe that he gets better results from the fixed choke rather than the screw-in type chokes. But regardless, I have no reason not to believe that if he said he got good results out of his gun, that he did in fact get good results. But like I said, it was a completely different gun. It was also a fixed choke instead of a removable choke like this one, and just overall completely different gun. So maybe it's the gun, maybe it's the choke type, or maybe it's just that these loads just flat out perform better and good rather through a cylinder bore instead of an improved cylinder like I had in this video.
So again, go check out CW's channel. I'll put a link in the description. Like I said, the video he made about these and everything that's in them if you want to see that. As I said, I got a lot more slugs coming up. I got the 3-inch Winchesters. I got Remington slugs. I got Brennicky thanks to At the Hide. And then I also got some other random stuff in there. What is it? ATI, BPS, and 2 others. I can't remember what the heck they're called. So we'll be trying those out, see how those shoot accurately. Like I said, I have a little long-range video planned now that I finally have a scoped 410 in my life, which I've wanted all my life practically. And then some gel tests later this year too. We might even put some of these through the gel since I still have them, see what they do. That one keyhole one's going to be nasty in the gels. Nasty as in a good thing. That'll do a lot of damage. Sideways 10mm bullet. But that'll do it, guys. Appreciate you watching. If you want to get yourself a little target stand like that, targets I hang from it, shooting bag here, rangefinder, steel targets, and way more. Links in the description for everything I use in the videos. Appreciate you guys, and I hope to catch you on the next one.